It started like any other routine traffic stop, but within minutes it became something else entirely. Blue lights flashing, guns drawn, and then cold steel handcuffs slammed onto the wrists of a woman who had every right to be respected. A woman who had served her country, led troops, and stood in war zones around the world. What those officers did not realize was that the woman they had just humiliated on the side of the road was a high-ranking U.S. military general, and she was not going to stay silent. She made one phone call, straight to the Pentagon, and what followed next would not only shatter the careers of the officers involved, but also ignite a nationwide firestorm over race, power, and justice in America. This is not just a story about racism. It is not just a story about law enforcement. This is a story about what happens when people in power pick the wrong woman to mess with. Stay with us, because what you are about to hear will shock you, anger you, and most of all, open your eyes. Racist cops handcuffed black female general. Her call to the Pentagon destroyed their careers. The handcuffs clicked shut with a sound like a gunshot in the quiet street. "You're resisting arrest," the cop snarled, twisting the black woman's arm behind her back. Bystanders gasped as she was forced onto the hood of the cruiser, her military-sharp posture never faltering. Then, in a voice like steel, she said, "You have no idea who you just handcuffed. But in 20 minutes, these two officers would beg for their careers back. And in an hour, the Pentagon would make sure they never wore a badge again." General Naomi Carter was used to command, not compliance. A decorated war strategist, she had just returned from a classified overseas mission and was on her way to debrief at the Pentagon when she stopped for coffee. She had spent her life fighting battles, just not the kind where the enemy wore a blue uniform. The cops had been watching her since she stepped out of her car. "Suspicious vehicle," one muttered, eyeing her luxury sedan. When she questioned their unnecessary stop, they escalated. "You fit a description." Then came the cuffs, the shove, the condescending smirk. That's when Naomi stopped being just a citizen. "Let me make a call," she demanded. The taller cop laughed. "You ain't calling nobody." But Naomi had memorized emergency protocols better than they'd memorized their own badges. With her hands restrained, she recited a series of numbers to a horrified bystander. "Dial it, now." The phone rang twice before a voice answered, "Pentagon secure line." The cops froze. Then came the words that turned their blood to ice. "This is General Carter. Badge numbers 4,872 and 5,193 just detained me unlawfully. I need immediate confirmation of their authority." For the first time, doubt flickered in the officer's eyes. The dispatcher's radio erupted with panic. "All units stand down." Stand down. Backup arrived, but not for them. The chief's voice cracked over the comms. "You just cuffed a Pentagon-level officer. God help you." Naomi stood straight as her cuffs were removed. The cops stammered apologies, but she simply picked up the phone. "Secretary, I want their records audited. Every stop, every complaint." Then to the officers, "You targeted the wrong woman today." By sundown, the officers were suspended. By week's end, charged, and as Naomi walked into the Pentagon the next morning, the news played footage of their perp walk and proof that even generals in street clothes outrank prejudice. If this story touched you, hit that like button and drop a karma in the comments below.